Assalamu alaikum, this is Maria Zulfikar welcoming you all to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Martyred Intellectuals Day observed today. President and Chief Advisor pay rich tribute at Mirpur Intellectuals Memorial in the capital. People from all walks of life, including various political, social and cultural organizations, pay tribute to martyred intellectuals at Raater. People from all walks of life pay tribute to martyred intellectuals at mass killing ground at Pahartoli in Chattogram. Osman Hadi's relatives decide to send him abroad for treatment as conditions still not out of danger. Government making every effort to nab attackers of Osman Hadi, says Information and Broadcasting Advisor. Order to frame charges against 17, including Sheikh Hasina, in case of torturing on December 21st. Terrorist attack on UN base in Sudan kills 6 Bangladeshi peacekeepers. Chief Advisor expresses profound shock. And defending champions Barcelona top Spanish La Liga points table, defeating Osasuna by 2-0. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. The nation observed the Martyred Intellectuals Day today. On this day in 1971, large number of Bangladeshi intellectuals were killed by the collaborators of Pakistani forces during the Liberation War. On the occasion of the Martyred Intellectuals Day, President Muhammad Shahabuddin and Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus paid rich tributes to the martyred intellectuals by placing wreaths at the Martyred Intellectuals Memorial at Mirpur in the city today. First, President Muhammad Shahabuddin placed wreath at the memorial. After placing wreaths, the President stood in solemn silence for some time. A smartly turned out contingent of Bangladesh Army presented the state salute. The bugle played the last post. The President exchanged greetings with the war-wounded freedom fighters and family members of the martyred intellectuals. Later, Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus paid tribute by placing wreath at the memorial. After placing wreaths, the Chief Advisor stood in solemn silence for some time. A smartly turned out contingent of Bangladesh Army presented the state salute. The bugle played the last post. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus exchanged greetings with the war-wounded freedom fighters and family members of the martyred intellectuals. Chief Justice advisors, chiefs of 3 services, and high civil and military officials were present. Meanwhile, marking the day, people from all walks of life, including political leaders, paid tribute to the nation's valiant martyred sons by placing wreaths at the Mirpur Martyred Intellectuals Memorial this morning. Bangladesh Nationalist Party (BNP) paid homage to the martyred intellectuals on behalf of party chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia and acting chairman Tariq Rahman. After placing the wreath, BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir said the Pakistani occupation forces had carried out a planned attempt to intellectually cripple the nation just before victory, but ultimately failed in their objective. Meanwhile, leaders and activists of various political parties, representatives of socio-cultural organizations, students, and people from all walks of life paid rich tributes to the martyred intellectuals at the Raater Bazaar Martyred Intellectuals Memorial in the capital, marking Martyred Intellectuals Day. From the early hours of the day, people began placing floral wreaths at the memorial under the banners of different parties and organizations to honor the memories of the nation's brightest sons who were killed in 1971. As the mourning progressed, a huge number of visitors, including the valiant freedom fighters, gathered at the site to pay tribute to the martyred intellectuals. The presence of students of schools, colleges, and universities and general people was more noticeable in the morning. Martyred Intellectuals Day was observed with due dignity in the port city of Chattogram today. Various social, cultural, and political organizations paid tribute to the Martyred Intellectuals Memorial located in the city's Pahartoli area in the morning. People from all walks of life, including Bashod, Somajtantrik Chhatro Front, Chattogram Veterinary and Animal Sciences University, University of Science and Technology, and various social organizations paid floral tributes to the valiant sons of the nation. Tributes were also paid to the martyred intellectuals by the Chattogram City Corporation. City Corporation officials led by City Mayor Dr. Shadat Hussain paid tribute, marking the day. Later, City Mayor told reporters that the victory of independence will be successful if the fundamental rights and democratic rights of the people are restored. That is why the upcoming election on February 12 is very important. Sharif Osman Hadi, spokesperson of Inqilab Moncho and a prospective parliamentary candidate for Dhaka A, who was seriously injured in a shooting, has a fragment of the bullet lodged among blood vessels in his head. His physical condition remains unchanged. Family members have decided to take Osman Hadi abroad for treatment. Dr. Abdul Ahad shared this information today based on updates from the medical board formed for Osman Hadi's treatment at Evercare Hospital in the capital. He said Osman Hadi's medical reports have been sent to Mount Elizabeth Hospital in Singapore, and the family has decided to take him abroad for advanced treatment. He further said a small fragment of the bullet remains in Osman Hadi's brain, lodged among several blood vessels. His heartbeat and blood pressure are stable. His physical condition remains unchanged, and the CT scan report also shows no change. The overall condition of Sharif Osman Hadi, who is hospitalized with gunshot injuries, is extremely critical. His brain condition remains unchanged. Oxygen deficiency has increased and there is blood clotting in the brain. However, kidney function is working. Other organs are being maintained on life support. Dr. Abdul Ahad Neurosurgery, Dhaka Medical College Hospital, provided this briefing at 1 p.m. Information and Broadcasting Advisor Sayyida Rizwana Hassan said the government is trying to arrest responsible persons for the attack on Inqilab Moncho spokesman Osman Hadi. She made the remarks while speaking to journalists after a view exchange meeting with officials of the Information Ministry today. Information and Broadcasting Secretary Mahbooba Farzana and other senior officials of the ministry were present at the meeting. Rizwana Hassan said the upcoming national election will be held as per schedule. She urged everyone to remain vigilant so that distorted information cannot be used to undermine the election environment, mentioning that the media has always played a strong role in the practice of democracy. International Crimes Tribunal 1 has set December 21st for framing formal charges against 17 people, including deposed Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, over the torture of 11 individuals following enforced disappearances at the TFI cell during the Awami League regime. A three-members judicial panel headed by Justice Ghulam Murtuza Mozumdar fixed the date. Lawyers representing the accused military officers presented their arguments at the hearing. Earlier, on 3rd of December, the prosecution concluded its hearing. Meanwhile, at the same tribunal, an order has been passed to frame charges on December 18 against 13 people, including Sheikh Hasina, in a crimes against humanity case involving the torture of 26 people after enforced disappearances at the GIC. The three-members bench of the tribunal, headed by Justice Ghulam Murtuza Mozumdar, passed the order. Besides, a hearing is also held in the case over the killing of 28 people in the capital's Rampura during the July mass uprising. 15 military officers who are in custody as accused in these three cases were produced before the tribunal this morning amid tight security. Meanwhile, International Crimes Tribunal 2 has set 21st of December for the next hearing of witness testimony in a case over the killing of 7 people, including the burning of 6 bodies in Ashulia during the July mass uprising. A three-member tribunal headed by Justice Nuzrul Islam Chaudhry fixed the date after the testimony of investigation officer Jani Alam. On that day, defense lawyers will cross-examine the investigation officer. Earlier in the day, 18 people who are in custody in various crimes against humanity cases were also produced before the tribunal. Now, international news. A drone attack hit a United Nations facility in war-torn Sudan, killing 6 peacekeepers. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said in a statement that the attack on Saturday hit the peacekeeping logistics base in the city of Kadugli in the central region of Kordofan. 8 other peacekeepers were wounded in the strike. All the victims are Bangladeshi nationals, serving in the UN Interim Security Force for Abyei. In the statement, Guterres strongly condemned the horrific drone attacks that targeted the United Nations peacekeeping logistics base in Kadugli of Sudan. The Sudanese army blamed the attack on the Rapid Support Forces (RSF), a paramilitary group. The army and the RSF have been engaged in a civil war for more than 2 years. There was no immediate comment from the RSF. Bangladesh has strongly condemned the deadly attack on Bangladeshi peacekeepers serving in the UN peacekeeping mission in Sudan. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said in a press release last night that Bangladesh is deeply saddened by the death of its heroic sons and extends its deepest condolences to the bereaved families. At the same time, the government and people wish the injured a speedy recovery. 6 Bangladeshi peacekeepers were killed in a drone attack on a UN base in the Abyei region of Sudan. 8 others were injured. The release further said the Bangladesh government has requested the UN to ensure the best possible treatment for the injured peacekeepers through the permanent mission of Bangladesh to the UN in New York. It further said the permanent mission of Bangladesh in New York is maintaining close contact with the UN and is working together to provide all necessary assistance to the Bangladeshi peacekeepers deployed in Sudan. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus expressed deep shock and concern over the casualties of the Bangladesh Army peacekeepers. In a statement issued on Saturday night, the Chief Advisor said, "I am deeply saddened by the news of the death of 6 of our heroic peacekeepers and the injury of 8 others while carrying out the great responsibility of establishing peace and stability. Bangladesh's immense contribution to UN peacekeeping operations is internationally recognized. This sacrifice of the heroes is a matter of national pride on the one hand and deep pain on the other." He prayed for the eternal peace of the killed peacekeepers and expressed his deepest condolences to their bereaved families. At the same time, he wished the injured peacekeepers a speedy recovery. Meanwhile, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres strongly condemned Saturday's horrific drone attack on Bangladeshi peacekeepers in Sudan. He said the attack on UN peacekeepers could be considered a war crime under international law. The Sudanese government has blamed the rebel RSF forces for the attack. At least 12 people have been killed in a shooting near a Jewish gathering on the occasion of Hanukkah celebration at Sydney's Bondi Beach in Australia this afternoon. One gunman was killed while another is in custody. 29 people, including 2 police officers, have been injured and taken to various hospitals. Authorities said there is no longer an active threat but have urged people to avoid the area. A second gunman is in police custody and is also among the injured. A senior law enforcement officials confirmed one of the gunmen was Naveed Akram from Bonnyrigg in Sydney's southwest. New South Wales Premier Chinsmean said the attack was designed to target Sydney's Jewish community. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese convened a national security meeting and described the shooting as a devastating terrorist incident. United States President Donald Trump pledged to pursue serious retaliation against ISIL after an ambush in central Syria killed 2 American soldiers and 1 civilian interpreter. An investigation is underway to determine whether the attacker was linked to ISIL, but Trump on Saturday blamed the armed group that had seized territories across Syria and Iraq in 2014. The attack on U.S. forces was the first to inflict casualties since the fall of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad a year ago. 3 U.S. military members were injured in the attack, as well as at least 2 Syrian soldiers, according to government and media reports.